One of the most surprising teams to start the season has been the Houston Rockets. After an 0-3 start, the Rockets have been on a 6-game winning streak, including a blowout win against the LA Lakers, and most recently, a win against the defending NBA champion Denver Nuggets. While it's still very early on in the season, it's clear a combination of new coaching, new veteran additions, and growth from the young players on the roster have led to a start that's been significantly better than expected from this group. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about the Houston Rockets. Ime Udoka has been a noticeable coaching upgrade for the Rockets. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out, and his coaching has led to that team looking a lot better than they have really since the post-James Harden era. And while he deserves credit for helping this Rockets team, it is about more than just his coaching. At the center of the Rockets' success to start the season is, ironically, their starting center. Alperen Sengun has been their best player to start this season. Through 9 games, he's averaging 19.4 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, and 6 assists per game on 60, 25, 61.8 splits and a 62.52 shooting percentage. Now, I'll admit, I've been skeptical of Sengun for most of his career. I thought he was a first-round prospect, but not the top 10 lottery talent that some others did. I was skeptical of how he would translate to the NBA in order to justify taking him that high, as well as skeptical of his upside to be a star. But he's basically been the big man version of Tyrese Halliburton to me, which is my way of saying he's a prospect that's proven me wrong at every turn. While his game is unconventional for the modern NBA, and his play style is rather funky on tape, it's clearly very effective. His post skill is very technically sound, his feel for the game as a playmaker is incredible, he's strong and physical around the basket, he's a creative offensive player, he's very fun to watch on tape, and honestly, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, and I've been wrong about Sengun. He's an incredible talent, and if he continues to play at this level for the rest of the season, he should be an all-star. The other young standout for the Rockets this season has been Jalen Green. Through 9 games, he's averaging 19 points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, and 2.7 assists per game on 41.2, 40, 77.6 splits, and a 54.62 shooting percentage. While these numbers don't look great in terms of efficiency, and he has had his ups and downs on tape, he has also had more positive games than negative ones in my opinion. The signs of the potential high-level scorer are still very evident on tape. He's looked really good as a 3-point shooter. He's flashed more effectiveness as a rebounder in some games. He's flashed signs as a playmaker, even if the numbers don't suggest it. He's a monster rim pressure threat. His first step is very hard to contain. He's one of the best pure athletes in the entire NBA. The shot creating intangibles are always going to be there with him. And while the numbers may not fully reflect it because he hasn't taken that major jump that many expected him to in terms of being like maybe a 25-point per game scorer, all the signs of that future star are still on tape, and I've been very encouraged by what I've seen for the most part. But while the young players, especially their 2 cornerstones, have been promising, the biggest X factor for Houston, in my opinion, has been Dillon Brooks. After a rough end to his tenure in Memphis, the polarizing wing signed a deal with the Rockets that many thought was an overpay, based off the volatile nature of how he played the game. But to start this season, Brooks has been awesome, averaging 13.7 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, and 2 assists per game on 55.1, 53.3, 84 splits, and a 69.12 shooting percentage, while also being that elite defensive player that led to Houston giving him that contract in the first place. But it's been more than just a hot shooting streak. On tape, he's playing more in control, he's taking and making better shots, and the improvement in his shot selection has led to him being a more reliable offensive player, while also still playing with that edge and intensity that made him valuable in the first place. Brooks is another player that I was wrong about. I also thought he was overpaid in the offseason. I thought he was going to get a contract because he was all defense and was a piece on a playoff team, but I had many criticisms of Dillon Brooks and how his shot selection led to inefficiency and how his on-off numbers were a reflection of how his shot selection hurt his team in Memphis. And props to him for changing the narrative about him as a player. I don't feel like this is just a hot shooting starter. I feel like he's gotten better as a player. Another key signing for the Rockets this past offseason has been Fred VanVleet from the Toronto Raptors. While not the most efficient, averaging 17.2 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, and 7.9 assists per game on 38.4, 36.8, 87.5 splits, and a 52.2 true shooting percentage, he's been a reliable point guard for them, setting up his teammates well, being a good guard-big duo with Sengun, controlling pace and flow, basically everything they didn't have at the point guard spot last season. Fred VanVleet has been for them, and it's been clearly valuable on tape. And then you got other young guys on the team. Jabari Smith Jr. has been solid, averaging 12.3 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 1.3 assists per game on 48.4, 36.4, 55.6 splits, and a 57.2 true shooting percentage. He's definitely had his ups and downs on tape. He is not taking that leap that many expected him to this season necessarily, but he's showing signs that made him viewed as a consensus top 5 prospect in the 2022 draft. The ability to space the floor, be a solid rebounder, and a good point of attack defender. And I'm still just as high on Amen Thompson now as I was before the season. Nothing has really changed for me. I know he's only averaging 6.3 points per game, 2.8 rebounds per game, and 1.5 assists per game on 40.9, 18.2, 62.5 splits, and a 49 true shooting percentage. But he hasn't gotten the most opportunity in the world because of how good Fred VanVleet's been playing, as well as Dillon Brooks, who are guys that I thought Amen could take some minutes from, but with them playing so well, that clearly hasn't been happening. And he did suffer a grade 2 ankle sprain that's limited him to just 4 games so far. I still believe in the talent. I still believe he's the team's best long-term prospect, although Sengun is making that conversation a lot more interesting. I believe in him as the long-term point guard of the future. I still think he has potential to be their franchise player long-term, and I still believe in him as the second highest ceiling prospect in the 2023 draft behind Victor Wembanyama. I don't think 4 games to start a rookie season to change anyone's opinion of what they thought about a prospect before the draft. The Houston Rockets were clearly a team that had no intentions of tanking the season. It was obvious based off the head coaching hire as well as the free agency signings. They're going to try to compete every night. They're trying to win games. And honestly, with the way they've been playing over the last 6 games, I think that they are showing the signs of being at the very least a potential play-in team. They could even fight for an outright playoff spot. It's still early in the season, a lot can happen, but the message is clear. Houston isn't going to be an easy win on the schedule this season, like they were in years past. They aren't tanking. They're going to give it their all every night. They're going to make it easy on you. And as the young guys on the team start to play better, this Houston Rockets team could make some noise this season. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about the Houston Rockets. Let me know what you think about their start to the season. How good do you think they will be? Have you been impressed by guys like Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet? What are your thoughts on Sengun, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Thompson, even guys I didn't talk about like jae'sean or Cam Whitmore when he gets a chance? Love to do all of that in the comment section below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.